The murder of Reeva Steenkamp, the fall of Oscar Pistorius, 2013. On Valentine's Day 2013, inside one of South Africa's most luxurious gated communities, a sound broke the silence of the night. For gunshots, for fatal decisions, and the fall of a national hero. This is the story of Reeva Steenkamp, a rising star, a model, a daughter, and the woman whose life was taken by the man who once inspired a nation, Olympic athlete Oscar Pistorius. A love story turned tragedy, a relationship filled with charm, tension, and secrets. A case that left people asking, how does love twist this far? Reeva Steenkamp was more than a model. She was kind, educated, a law graduate, charismatic, warm, and instantly loved by every room she walked into. Oscar Pistorius was a global superstar, the Blade Runner, the man who defied all odds, born without fibulas, both legs amputated as an infant, yet became a world-class runner competing against able-bodied athletes. They were beautiful, they were powerful, and when they started dating in late 2012, the media painted them as a dream couple. But behind closed doors, things weren't perfect. Friends whispered about arguments, tension, Oscar's temper, his obsession with security, guns, and control. Reeva, always gentle, often reassured friends she was fine, but some felt something wasn't right. February 13th turned into February 14th. Reeva spent the night at Oscar's luxury home in Pretoria. At 3 a.m., neighbors heard something unusual. A fight, raised voices, a woman's cry. No one knew then that tragedy was moments away. Sudden silence, then for sharp gunshots. Inside the bathroom, behind a locked door, Reeva Steenkamp stood terrified. Oscar Pistorius fired 4 bullets through the wooden door with a 9mm pistol. Reeva was struck in the arm, the hip, and the head. She collapsed instantly. Oscar later claimed he thought she was an intruder. A mistake, a tragic misunderstanding. But prosecutors argued he knew exactly who he was shooting at. The angle of the shots, the position of her body. The screams reported by neighbors painted a different picture. A story not of fear, but of rage. Oscar broke down the door with a cricket bat. He carried Reeva's bleeding body down the stairs. He cried for help. He tried CPR, but it was too late. At 3:20 a.m., Reeva Steenkamp, a woman with dreams, with beauty, with a future, was pronounced dead. The world watched in disbelief. How could the same man who inspired millions commit such a horrific act? Oscar insisted, it was a terrible accident, but the evidence said otherwise. The neighbors heard a woman screaming. The shots were directed at a low, cornered position. Reeva tried to open the locked bathroom door. Oscar's previous outburst showed violent jealousy. The prosecution painted Oscar as volatile, paranoid, and controlling. The defense argued he was terrified of vulnerable because of his disability, acting on instinct. The trial captivated the world. Emotional breakdowns, heated arguments, and forensic details broadcast live. After months of testimony, Oscar Pistorius was convicted of culpable homicide, then later increased to murder on appeal. The court declared he acted with reckless intent, not self-defense, not an accident. He received a prison sentence that sparked global debate. Too lenient for some, too harsh for others. But one truth remained. Reeva Steenkamp would never again smile, laugh, or chase her dreams. Reeva was more than a victim. She was a daughter who adored her family, a friend who radiated kindness, a smart, ambitious woman who wanted to leave a positive mark on the world. Her mother said, she had so much to give. She was just beginning. Her loss became a symbol of how relationships that appear perfect can hide storms beneath the surface, of how love, when tangled with fear, insecurity, and anger, can turn deadly. Love should be safe. Love should be protected. Love should be life-giving. But in the Pistorius home that night, love became fear. Fear became violence, and violence took a life. This is the story of Reeva Steenkamp, and a reminder that behind even the brightest smiles, the darkest truths can hide.